Yeah, I'm sure.
In there, they're just going to carry it. Right. These new guys don't care about nothing. The only thing they care about is that picture.
Wrong attitude, right?
Yeah.
Need more.
What? You call me. I'm gonna help. They need some help. Well, you can't. She's over here.
Yeah, we're ready. Yes. Yes, it's in there. It's set up in the hallway. Yes, where do we want to smoke?
Mizmar David, Adonai mi Yagor ba'alecha, mi Yisrael b'har kadshecha. Leich Tamim Ufayal Tzedek V'Doiver Emes Bilvavai Leiragal Al L'Shainai Le'Yasal L'Rei Yura V'Cherpel Le'Nasal K'Raivai Nivzeh Ve'einav Nimas V'Sirei Adonai Yichabei Nishpal L'Harav V'Lo Yamir Chasboy loy nasam b'neshech v'shoichad al noki loy lokach Eisei elev loy imay loy lo
Very nervous as she was sleeping.
Just read a people feeling. It's so fitting in the Nifta. Hilech Tomim, Ram Lamokim, is a Hilech Tomim, Poel Tzedek, Ram Lachavela is a Poel Tzedek. The Ram is a person who kept his trust with people, honest, spoke truthful words constantly. And the main thing is, Levoga al Hashem, you never heard a word of Lashon Hara about other people. Avosu Levaya, never harmed other people. Chebel and Asal Koivoy, you didn't cover over the zionus of others. A few days ago, he was honored at a dinner where he was too weak to attend, but he recorded a video 2 days before Motzei Shabbos. Which I think was the best hesed given about him, in his own words. He spoke about Ezer Mechubot, HaMechabed Es HaBriyos. Who is Mechubot? Someone is Mechabed Es HaBriyos. The one word that can be said about Rabbi Yosef is that he was a Mechubot. People who came into contact with him saw an ability about him. And the reason for that is he was Mechabed Es HaBriyos. He was Mechabed other people. He spoke in his video how he went out of his way. He mentioned how he went out of his way in the morning after davening to say good morning to people, give people a smile. He was Mechabed Es HaBriyos. He was mevazeh himself for others. Nivzeh ve'einav nimos. He's older, much older than I am, yet he was mechabed me. He used to come over always to tell me how much he enjoyed my shmuas. No reason for him to do that except that he's mevatel himself to everyone else. Mevatel himself to Talmidei Chachomim. Never looked for COVID. His moed al MS. I remember receiving telephone calls from him, different shilas that he asked me. He was not ashamed to say he didn't know, never cover up for his own COVID. He knew exactly his place, in his place in learning, in his place in everything. Nivzeh ve'einav nimos. All of you years, Yirei Hashem Yichabed. He was Mechabed, those were Yirei Hashem. I was a boy at 15 when I came to the yeshiva. He was already an older bocher, had a shtel already. I believe he had a shell at that time. And he was the prince of the yeshiva, the prince of the rabbanim, the graduates of the yeshiva. the prince. When he spoke, it electrified the audience. A young man, he must have been then in the early 20s. Is to speak with such natural polish and conviction, enthralled the audience that he spoke to, because he had a emunah. You can't affect an audience if you're an actor. You affect an audience when you genuinely believe what you're speaking about. And he spoke about emunah, and he spoke about Yiddishkeit, and he genuinely believed whatever he spoke. Then when I met him, he was an old man. He hadn't changed much. Same honorableness, the same nobility, and the same eloquence. And his ordinary conversation was eloquent. His crowning glory of his old age was the organization of the Siyam HaShas of Baltimore, Siyam HaTorah, where everyone learns Kol HaTorah Kula, for which he was just honored a few days ago. An idea to have everyone take a share in Torah, and the way he organized it was, as he said in his videotape, he felt he was honoring people by giving a share in this mitzvah. He told me that he would get a ride with someone for a few blocks, or he'd give someone a ride for a few blocks. And he'd say to the person, I'd like you to pay me for this ride. What? Just for a short ride? Yes, I want you to undertake to learn something for the Siyam HaTorah. Either a perek, or a sefer, or something in Mishnayos, or Rabbi Schecter. And of course, no one could refuse him. That's how he organized this Siyam HaTorah, and that's how it became a model for so many other cities in America to do the same. Because of his conviction, because of his love of people. He was mechabed everyone, and therefore he was mechubed, and people listened to him. Midas Tovos. One can learn Midas Tovos from him. Humility, the care about other people, the concern about other people, the honesty, total honesty in everything he did. This Kapitel Tilim that we read before is a description of Rabbi J Schecter, the perek ends. Someone who does all these things, will never be moved, will remain permanent. His memory will remain with us. And his legacy will remain forever. When he accomplished the people he was Mekayel for Yiddishkeit because of his emunah, that he spread because of his Machabes, Abriyos, and what he was, that he was, Elachiyid. In Series and Elachiyid, Heilich Tomim Poel Tzedek, Bevanemes Muvah. The years that I wasn't in America were probably years where he accomplished more than anything else in his Rabbanus, and here in the yeshiva, he was such a vital force in the development of the yeshiva, which is the reason why we make the hesped here in the Beis Medrash, because he had a share. Because it's a harivoah from the Rashid Zechem Levacha, such a person make a hesped in the Beis Medrash. He's mevasis the yeshiva. We all Makolas HaToiv, and all of Baltimore owes him Makolas HaToiv. He's from a generation. He's from the pioneers of Torah in America. When I came to the yeshiva, there were maybe 50 or 60 bochum in the yeshiva. They were collected from all over America. He came from Montreal. They were the pioneers of America. They set the tone for America. He was one of the people who set the tone for the abundance of America. He has a schus of Asora Rishonim. Asora Rishonim Noitel Schar Keneged Kulam. He's the original, one of the founders of the yeshiva. Founders of the student body of the yeshiva. Noitel Schar Keneged Kulam. Everything that came after him. He takes from home. He has a share. He comes from a family which were pioneers in Abbas HaTorah, a father who was a big Taimach Torah, and brothers that are Taimach Torah. He was a family which is a model. And he was the prince of the family, and one of the princes of the yeshiva. One of the people that people looked at. Someone went into the Rabbanis and said, "Kazeh Rev Kaddish. This is what a rabbi should be like." People used to come and listen to him speak, to learn methods of elocution. He was a natural. He never studied it. He was a natural. People used to come and watch him just to study how to speak. Full of love, and full of respect, and always self-deprecating. From his youth until his old age. It's a tsar that he has left us. It's a tsar for the whole city of Baltimore that he has left us. And it's tsar for the yeshiva. We hope that his family will continue in his ways, and all those who came into contact with him will continue in his ways. Ubila Amoros and Netzach, Moho, Le'ehim, Dimo Malko Ponim, may be a Melitz Yosher, Yeshiva, the family, for ganz Klal Yisrael. He's Zichrei Bo.
The Gemara says, Shmuel Bar Shilas asked, "Achim li behespeda the hasam ka'imno." He asked that in his hesped there should be an enormous amount of warmth that should bring forth bechiyah, the hasam ka'imno, because I am there. The Gemara says just before that a person is nicker by the hesped. In Shemayim, the place that a person will achieve, and who he was, is very much determined by what is said at a hesped. And especially if we're dealing with a person whose very mitzius was varmkeit, warmth. His heavy mikabelis kolada b'sever ponim yofes. Even to the late days, whenever he would come into the office, he would come over to each and every one of us and say good morning, and if we didn't answer him with the same warmth that he addressed us, maybe we were preoccupied, we were doing something else, and we didn't answer him with the same warmth, so he munned us for it. He was a living example of was heißt Warmkeit. What does it mean to be an Ohev Yisrael? And he came by it very naturally. I had the chus to know his parents as a youngster. And the Tate was also this Meredike Varem Mensch, highly emotional individual with a gewaltige Warmkeit, who in 1940 sent his young son away to a yeshiva hundreds of miles away in a different country. And he came to the yeshiva when the yeshiva was in its first building at 3220 Garrison. And he described the primitiveness of the dormitory at that time. And coming from a Balabatisha house, what a Mesiras Nefesh that was. And the special relationship that he developed with the Shiv Zechrona Levracha and with my father Zechrona Levracha. Incredible close relationship that he had with both came from this Varmkeit that he exuded. Came from his Avas Habriyos, from his Avas Yisrael. And when he went to New Orleans to become a Rav, or he was first in Norfolk, then in New Orleans, and back in Norfolk, in every community that he served, he was respected and beloved by all his mispalalim. He had a way to connect with people on their level. And as the Rosh Shiva mentioned, his mastery of the English language, the ability to turn an elegant phrase, even unprepared. We marveled at him. He was a pioneer when he worked in the yeshiva in trying to connect with the greater community. That we shouldn't be so insular, we shouldn't forget about the fact that there's a broader Jewish community. And he arranged to get public service time from one of the television stations before the Yom Tovim, before Pesach and before Rosh Hashanah. And he used to take some of us Bachrim and Amol, some of the Ramim of the yeshiva, to be part of a discussion. And he would be the chairman and carry the program and fill in the empty spots, and he could, on the spot, find just the right words to say. Just the right things to say to bring out the points that would infuse those who watched it with his love for Torah and for Yerushalayim, for Yiddishkeit. Chazal tell us, Gadol ha'ma'asa yeser min ha'isa. He was a mavaldik ma'asa in Torah. As was mentioned by the Rosh Shiva Shlita, the magnificent occasion that we had last Monday night celebrating the 20th Siyam HaTorah for the city of Baltimore, that he was the one who built it up to where it is today. And it has been copied in many cities around the country. But its success here was clearly based on his being the Ma'asa, on his going to each and every person that he knew and who he didn't know, and infusing them with the excitement of being part of this extraordinary limud. And if Gadol HaMa'asa Yaiser Min Ha'isa, he comes before the Kisei HaKavod with all those years of limud HaTorah that hundreds and hundreds of people learnt because of him. When he comes to Shemayim, his Rebbe, and his relationship with the Rosh Hashiva was that he called him Rebbe. He felt that closeness to the Rosh Hashiva. The Rosh Hashiva reciprocated to him with a gewaldige yedidus. His Rebbe will be Mekabel Ponim, because he comes with all that Torah. And we all know that his Rebbe's first kasha was always Vosas the Geleret. And he comes with all this Torah, hundreds and hundreds of people who learned Kol HaTorah Kula. What a gewaldik zchus to come before the Rabbi Shalom. Rashi says in Haitik Parsha on the words Ben Peiras Yosef. So Rashi, what does Ben Peiras Yosef mean? That Yosef was a Ben Chaim, was a person who had Chaim, charm. All of us who knew him, all of us who loved him, all of us who appreciated him, were always taken by that enormous Chaim. Ben Peiras Yosef is indeed a Merdeke Baal Chaim. On behalf of the yeshiva and all of us who had the zchus to work closely with him, we have to ask Mechila. Maybe throughout the years there were occasions where we weren't mechaber him karoi. And we ask, Rabbi Yosef, when you go before the Kisei HaKavod with all your zchuyos, you should be a Melitz Yosher for the Almana, who in the last few years gave you much comfort, and for your tired children in Einiklach. And may the Rebbeinu Shalom give them the Siyata D'Shmaya to carry forward in your drachim, to keep alive the expression of Avos Yisrael, and the expression, and also you left us with a legacy. A legacy that when a person finishes his professional life and goes into what's called retirement, it's not a retirement from growing and from godless and from achievements. Whether he was here in Baltimore and made it his business to go to shiurim in the yeshiva, to sit with young bachrim in a blat shir, just to hear the Rebbe and to appreciate the Rebbe, as he went very often to my brother of Shrage and to Rabbi Yissacher's shiurim, or when he was in Florida, to continue doing chesed, of being involved there even in Bikur Cholim, and being involved there in their Daf Yomi, and in giving a shir himself in Deerfield Beach. Here was a person who used his retirement to grow and grow and grow. And indeed, he was zeichet to be, zeichet to have chavrusas that he kept. Imagine being able to maintain a chavrusa with a yedid, Mr. Joe Nelkin, for 30 years they worked together. That's an extraordinary amount of stick-to-itiveness, which he also was very exemplary in. We'll all miss you. You've given so much to each of us in a personal way that each of us has what to continue to learn from you and to implement in our lives. Your mavaldik and midas and your beautiful hanhogas. Vilam Rav Islam, that's all.
Right, bow away for speaker.
ואיננו כי לא כחייס אלוקים. Rabbi Yosef, when I was here to see you, not to Shabbos, I had no idea that would be the last time that I'd see you. We were waiting for you to give your words of chizuk to the Olam by the Siyum HaTorah.